So one of the best and newest features of iOS 26, as long as you have an iPhone 16 or newer, is that you will get support for the brand new Qi 2.2 wireless charging. This allows you to have up to 25 watts of wireless charging speed, allowing your phone to go from 0 to 80% in less than an hour wirelessly while still keeping the temperature of the battery relatively low. And that got me thinking that the wireless charging, while it's supposed to be a net positive overall, and it is, there are so many standards that have evolved over the years, including some universal standards that all manufacturers need to deal with, but then also there's MagSafe, which is very similar but different and only proprietary to Apple. So in this video, we're going to explain the differences between the original Qi wireless charging all the way to the new 2.2 wireless charging as well as MagSafe, and what that means for each user, what support means, charging speeds, what the differences are. So sit back, relax, and this is going to be an education-focused video and find out exactly what your iPhone is going to be able to do moving forward from a charging speed perspective. Let's get into it. So I thought the best way to explain this was to actually show everybody what this means and how it all works. And I do have different chargers in front of me here, ranging from a traditional Qi wireless charger to the brand new Qi 2.2 wireless charger, which charges your phone at that 25 watts wirelessly. This one's by Qi2.2, and I'll leave all these links down below for you guys to check out because they do charge at different speeds, they all have their benefits and cons, and they all have their different price points. But you also have this charger right here. This is mostly just to give you guys an idea of what the wattage is like, which will be shown on this display. Ignore all the other pieces of it. We're just using this to test out charging speeds. And then we have my iPhone 16 Pro Max right here running iOS 26 Beta 9 at around 40% battery, which should be a good indicator and show off exactly how fast these are going to be charging. So I thought a good way to start off here is by starting off with a regular Qi wireless charger. This one, or this standard, has been around for over a decade now, and this does charge at 7.5 watts, at least for iPhones. Some Android phones can get up to 15 watts of charging through a regular Qi wireless charger. It just depends on what your phone supports, but for iPhone's sakes, it's always been capped at 7.5 watts. So again, this is by Qi2.2, I believe this is their X55, and to test it out, we're just gonna see if we're able to get the 7.5 watts and how the iPhone interacts with it. Now this charger technically does have magnets around it, but the fact that it has magnets around it does not change the fact that it's a Qi wireless charger. A Qi wireless charging standard does not need to have magnets to be a Qi wireless charger. So let's quickly plug this in, see if it shows up. So here we have the actual wattage right now. Of course it's at 0 because nothing is plugged in, but the second we put the iPhone on here, the iPhone starts to charge and the wattage starts to increase here. Again, it'll take a second for it to warm up and get to its full speed, but technically this will cap out at 7.5 watts. The iPhone will not charge any faster than that, and as you can see, it is staying even below that at around 4 watts. And again, it takes about a minute or two for this to really start to pick up and show you the full speed, but that is what you're dealing with when it comes to Qi. So if you see a Qi certified charger and you have an iPhone, you can see that we're now at 7 watts. That is the full speed of your iPhone, and it takes hours to charge overnight. It'll still charge it. You can still have accessories like this one that have magnets built into it for all those kind of MagSafe features, but you're not getting the first MagSafe feature, which is 15 watt wireless charging. And now let's move on to Qi2 and MagSafe because those are kind of similar, but at the same time they are different. So now to move on to Qi2. Qi2 is the most recent universal standard that allows up to 15 watts of wireless charging, and it has magnets built in. So the magnets is part of that certification to be Qi2. Now this magnet idea started back when Apple released the iPhone 12 lineup and they introduced MagSafe. MagSafe is proprietary to Apple, and what they did was they took a Qi 1 charger, put magnets around it, and called it MagSafe. Now, what makes it MagSafe certified is that it does charge up to 15 watts on your iPhone, and you needed to go through Apple to license that charger to get the support of the 15 watts. So MagSafe is technically still a Qi 1 charger, but it has magnets around it, and it's been amplified by Apple's tech, and it's supported by Apple products or iPhones to give you the 15 watts. While Qi2 is the new universal standard that can be used across everything, including Android phones, and part of that Qi2 standard is the fact that it does charge at 15 watts as well, and you get the magnets as well. A great example of this is the most recent Pixel getting Pixel Snap, which is essentially just Qi2. So the outcome of these are the same, but they aren't the same in terms of standards and universality and things like that. For instance, a MagSafe certified charger will not charge at 15 watts a Qi2 supported device. That's only for iPhones. It'll still charge, it'll still magnetically attach and align, but it'll be limited. versus a Qi2 wireless charger will charge not only your iPhone at 15 watts, but also any other phone that supports it at 15 watts. So we're going to use this as a good example over here. This is Satechi's Travel Qi2 charger, and the universal standard of Qi2 is relatively recent, so it's kind of new in this foray, but again, we should see this number get to 15 watts. If I put the iPhone on here, you can see that it is charging, you get this nice little animation, and it'll slowly start to ramp up to 15 watts as we see fit. So this will charge your phone much faster, I guess twice as fast as regular Qi charging has done before. You can see we're already up to 9 watts and it is slowly increasing, getting us to those 15 watts. But now, the newest one is going to be Qi2.2, and you need to have an iPhone 16 or newer, and you need to be on iOS 26. So if you have an iPhone 16 stuck on iOS 18, you will not get the full charging speeds of 25 watts. This is going to be Qi2's latest one, and this is their X40 Turbo, and now let's try to plug this one in and see what that looks like. So we'll unplug the iPhone, disconnect this, plug this in, and now the new Qi2.2 standard is still relatively the same, just faster. So instead of 15 watts, we're now going to 25 watts. We'll plug that in, and you still have the magnets. So the magnets are part of that certification. And they also added a little stipulation where you do need to be under 40 degrees Celsius at all times in order to be a certified Qi2.2 charger. I think the reason they did that is because since we are charging much faster, things start to heat up a little bit because these coils, with physics, they get warmer, they get a little bit hotter to the touch, and the more power and the faster you go through this, you will be able to then generate a little bit more heat. So if it does generate that heat, it'll cool itself down by slowing down the charge a bit or throttling it, but this does get up to 25 watts. It might not do it here, it takes a little bit longer for it to kind of heat up and do its thing, but you can see that we're already at 12 watts, it's increasing, and I do have some images of us being at around 22, 23, 24 watts. So in a nutshell, Qi1 is just 7.5 wireless charging when it comes to iPhones. Then you have Qi2, which is up to 15 watts of wireless charging with the magnets. MagSafe kind of falls under that umbrella, but that's specific to iPhones. And then you have Qi2.2, which is 25 watts wireless charging. As you can see, we are now in the 20s when it comes to wattage, so it'll start to kind of pick up its steam when it comes to charging speeds and their certifications. And the Qi2.2 will work for any phone that supports it, but again, for iPhone specifically, it's iPhone 16 and newer running iOS 26. But hopefully that gives you guys an explainer as to what you're looking for in terms of charging speeds. I just figured this was a good idea to create right before the new iPhones come out so people are aware of what the differences are. And make sure you look for these logos to find out if you are Qi2 certified, Qi2.2 certified, what wattage you're dealing with, what speed you're dealing with. As you can see, now we're at 24 watts, pretty much maxing this out at that sustained 25 to 24 watts of speed. But that'll do for this video. Let me know in the comment down below what you think. Is this something that you wanted to know, something that maybe you learned, you didn't know this before? All in all, at the end of the day, it's wireless charging. It's just a matter of if it has magnets or not and what speed you're dealing with. But that'll do for this video. Really excited for the iPhone 17 stuff to be kind of coming out relatively soon. But that'll do it. If you made it to the end, leave a dolphin. And if you guys want to watch more videos like this, click on one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone.